The Texans are one of the most frustrating teams for me because, I mean, ever since they let Nick Hopkins go for a bag of chips, I couldn't really, that still frustrates me. I know it's been almost a year now, but it still frustrates me. Um, Man, they just can't let a guy like Will Fuller walk. I mean, it's just one of those things where you already got one of your best receivers. You want to get rid of another guy like that? I know he's getting into a contract. You got some trouble with the league, but hey, Deshaun Watson. I covered it in one of our videos on YouTube. Deshaun Watson needs help. I mean, you think about an offensive line that is a leaky sieve that constantly gives him. He's constantly pressured. He constantly has to find an answer. He is clearly in need of some help, and needs to find a way to get it done. So I feel like they cannot let Will Fuller walk in this situation. Keep one of your best wide receivers. Keep a good defense, and I think you'll be okay. Well, what do you think, Tristan?
Yeah, aside from Deshaun Watson being criminally overrated, they definitely can't afford to let Fuller go, even after being suspended the rest of the season. I'm really thankful that I was one of those people who was really pushing for Green Bay to make a trade for Will Fuller or something in the middle of the season and acquire him. Thank God they didn't, because he's going to get suspended and then try to pin it on his doctor. Um, I don't. I mean, there's situations where that happens, but if your doctor knows what he's doing, then that doesn't happen. I don't think that ever happens. I think this was a mishap on his part. He was probably taking PEDs. He probably didn't even have a doctor. He probably just said that to take some of the blame off of himself, which I think looks pretty irresponsible anyways, to blame your doctor, even if it was your doctor's fault. But it is what it is. They certainly can't afford to lose Will Fuller or let him walk this offseason. They need to keep him because they got rid of Kenny Stills, right? They
Yep.
released Kenny Stills.
Yep.
I mean, Randall Cobb is nothing special anymore. He's still good, but they can't afford to lose Fuller. I mean, they lost DeAndre Hopkins, and we saw how big of a dip Deshaun Watson took. If they lose Will Fuller, then Deshaun should probably just, I don't know what's going to happen. They're going to either need to draft a couple really high-round wide receivers, trade for a wide receiver, because Deshaun Watson, same here, Hopkins and Watson, it was a great duo. Yes, they were a really good duo, and I think DeAndre Hopkins was the reason Deshaun Watson looked so good. I don't think he's that good. A bit overrated, in my opinion. As soon as the best receiver in the NFL leaves your team, you don't look good at all. And you still have good receivers on your team. He looks good, but he doesn't look like the person that people hype him up to be. He's not an MVP caliber player. I don't think he deserves the money he's getting paid. He just had the good pieces around him. But, I mean, I might be going way out on a limb here, but I don't think Deshaun Watson is the type of player they thought he was when they gave him all that money. He's very inconsistently inaccurate at times, which is pretty bad. I don't know who to compare him to, but I don't think he's going to do anything good there unless they surround him with very, very good weapons like they had. I'm glad they finally got rid of their head coach. They got rid of their GM too, didn't they? Oh, he was the GM, wasn't he?
Yep, he was coaching GM, yeah.
Yeah, so some stuff needs to happen there, but Will Fuller, they have to figure out a way to keep him. If they can't keep Will Fuller, then they're screwed.
I don't think Deshaun Watson's overrated. Here's the why. Because week one, they play the Chiefs, defending Super Bowl champions. That's a tough game for everybody to come back. The Chiefs put up 34 on the Texans. You want to talk about a defense that should be, next level? At least talk about their quarterback a little bit. I know it's the Chiefs, but come on. Next week against the Ravens, they lit up 33. Ravens are a good team, I get it, but hey, this is the NFL. The guy can't do it all. Next week, they lose to the Steelers, who are also only undefeated team left. They lose to them by a touchdown. They literally almost beat the undefeated team, and they lose to the Chiefs by 2 touchdowns. So it's still pretty close. Deshaun Watson's keeping them in that one. Then it went up all the way to the wire against the Vikings too. They went against the Jaguars, I would hope. They almost beat one of the best teams in the NFC in the Tennessee Titans. They are literally one player on defense away, in my opinion, from turning this whole thing around. If you're looking at some of this, then they played the Packers. That was kind of a rough game for them. I'm not gonna lie. They had the bye week. They got a win against the Jaguars, who are a tough team in their own right, and they almost beat the Cleveland Browns. That's another that's got to be saying something as well. They beat the Patriots. What? And they beat the Lions. They beat the tail off the Lions of Thanksgiving. Listen, Deshaun Watson is not the problem. Okay, I realize that he's not been that guy right now. But if we're gonna honestly look at a problem, if we're gonna try to fix a problem, we have to acknowledge the fact that Deshaun Watson has no time. Can we see something here? Can you agree with me on this? The reason Aaron Rodgers, I think, is really there's two reasons I think Aaron Rodgers is playing as well as he is right now. Number one, he was angry and rightfully so for the people disrespecting him. And number two, his offensive line, like you said, is playing amazing. Anybody with time back there in the NFL can pick apart a defense, especially at that level, in my opinion.
Yeah, you'd think. Why can't Tom do it? He's being kept pretty clean. He's also highly overrated.
That's another issue for another day. But the point is, I think Deshaun Watson is the only reason that the Texans are relevant right now.
That's true.
Think that, especially with the way that defense has played, has been spotty at best. J.J. Watt's clearly not the same defender he was, 5 or 6 years ago. This team is not. I think a coaching change is definitely in the making here. They've reeled off a couple of wins against some okay teams, and I think Deshaun Watson's not the problem. With Nuke Hopkins, he was a pretty good team here. So I don't think Deshaun Watson's the problem.